smell good. Yeah, I do. I smell good, and I want you to smell good too. So, niche designer, Middle Eastern perfumes. Here's my review.
Mi gente, ¿cómo están? How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. It's Friday as I'm filming this. Christmas has come and gone. I hope you had a very merry, happy, joy-filled, stress-free Christmas if you celebrate, and that you're ready to face a new year. I'm a little apprehensive. New Year's Eve is actually one of my least favorite days of the year. I think a lot of people feel that way. I want it over with already. You know, let's get down to business. 2025 is headed our way. I like years that are odd in number. So let's see how things go down in 2025. I am hoping that it is a wonderful year for all of us, you know, God willing. But you know, even if it has its trials and its tribulations, I hope that as communities and as friends and family, we can take care of each other and see each other through whatever the year throws at us, right? So friends, I said, you know what, let me go hang out with the friends. Let me film a little something for the YouTubes. I uploaded a video earlier today, but I filmed that one, I want to say almost 2 weeks ago. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You know, I haven't sat down in a little bit to film something. But a friend of mine asked me today to compare two fragrances for her. And one of them is actually new to my collection. I think I've had it for maybe about a month and a half. Actually, two new fragrances from the house of Zimaya. So I have Tiramisu Coco and Tiramisu Caramel. I was like, you know what? Let me jump on the YouTubes, and maybe other folks are curious about it as well. I went on Fragrantica and I did see some folks cross-referencing these fragrances. So yeah, let's talk about it, right? So let me grab them and let me show them to you. Okay, friends. So the fragrances are from the house of Zimaya, as I said. And the first one is Tiramisu Coco. Spoiler alert of the two, this one is my favorite. And this is supposed to be inspired by Mancera's, I think it's called Amore Cafe, I think. That might be the name of the fragrance. And then the second one is Tiramisu Caramel. And here's what this one looks like. And this one is inspired by Bianco Latte. And so a lot of people have been comparing it to Lattafa's Eclaire. And that's actually what my friend asked me to compare it to for her today. So again, yeah, this is the house of Zimaya. And I think these are the only Zimaya fragrances that I own thus far. They were advertising these on their Instagram, right? And I mean, the footage that they used, like the AI generated imagery, was very, very pretty. And I actually reached out to the house via Instagram and I was like, hey, when will those be released in the US? And they're like, oh, we hope to have them in the US in November. So this was like quite a few weeks before they dropped. And they were nice enough to just keep me updated. They were like, we have a US site and it's going live. So they just got a US site. And the day that these dropped, somebody on that account wrote me and was like, hey, Island Glow Beautiful, it's ready. Go and grab them. And I sure did. I ran over there and I grabbed them both. So this is what they look like. Very, very pretty. Let's start with my favorite one. So this is the one that I've worn the most. The other one I've tested, but can I be honest with you? I didn't really gravitate towards it. I think it's very pretty and it's very nice, but I feel about it kind of like the same way I feel about Lattafa's Eclaire, which is that they are very lovely, warm, gourmandy fragrances, very caramelly, but they're not perfumes that I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to wear Eclaire today, or I want to wear Tiramisu Caramel. And they are similar, so I find that a little funny, but they didn't really, you know, inspire me to want to wear them all the time. They are very pretty. Happy to have them in the collection. Eclaire, I love to pair with Nebras. But this one, this was more my cup of tea. This was more my jam. This is so pretty to me, right? This one is lovely. And again, supposed to be inspired by Amore Cafe by Mancera. So let me show you what this looks like. This is such pretty presentation to me, guys. So in the front, it says Tiramisu Coco, Eau de Parfum, Zimaya. And then the side looks like a Hershey's candy bar almost, right? That's what it reminds me of, like the squares of a Hershey's candy bar. In the back, it says Tiramisu Coco Eau de Parfum. This one was made October 24th of this year. And yeah, so I ordered directly from the site. And then on the top, it just says Zimaya. You open it like this, you pull it this way, and the perfume is nestled in there. And I think it's really pretty that it's mirrored, like in this like shiny, coppery portion back here in the box. I think that's such a pretty touch. And then on this side also as well. Very pretty. So you open it like that. Perfume is nestled here. You see more of this like Hershey Kiss type of design on the side. I ordered a little table so that it's easier when I do this, because I have this little table back there, right? And it's just chock full of stuff that I swear I'm going to talk about, but it's doing its thing back there. I want something smaller for when I film that I can just, whatever I'm talking about, I can put in front of me. Anyway, mi gente, so this one is Zimaya Tiramisu Coco. I'm just dusting off my smudgy little fingerprints. And here's what it looks like. How gorgeous is this brown? It's like a copper brown, right? Bien bonito, muy bonito. Presentación bellísima. And on the top it says Zimaya. It's not very heavy, but it doesn't feel flimsy. And, which I absolutely love, I love that it is magnetic. I love a magnetic cap. I don't know why. I don't know why. But this is what it looks like. So, like I said, friends, I sprayed this on the inside of my arm when I was doing the comparisons for my friend. But I also have a perfume girly paper. So let's grab that. Let me grab the right one. I'll spray it again. So this is Coco. You know, the other day I told y'all, I was like, you know, atomizers, they're like, they spray. I don't know if that's just like teaching me a lesson, because I've had some really wonky atomizers lately. So let's check this one out. Very nice fine mist. So pretty. Yeah, so this is Tiramisu Coco by Zimaya. And oh, this is so pretty to me, y'all. So gorgeous. Let me grab my notes. Okay, so when it comes to Tiramisu Coco, to me, it opens with a scent that is super, super similar to a Tootsie Roll Pop, the brown one. It smells exactly like a Tootsie Roll Pop. When you get to, I mean, the outside, the chocolatey outside, but also in the center. But that's the first thing it reminds me of is how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? That's what it smells like, right? Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. So, so pretty. Yeah, and then I smell something, it's sweet. It's sweet. So out of the opening, I do get like a cacao powder, but there's a sweetness with it as well. They're distinct. My nose is picking them up separately. But it is very much the scent of cacao, which cacao doesn't really have any sugar in it, right? It's just crushed up cacao pods, right? So cacao powder, so pretty. But then I'm also getting this gorgeous sugar. Is it a brown sugar? And then I'm picking up something that smells to me like anise. It's something that smells like anise. In the Caribbean, we used to have anise candies. They were like these little white candies. They were so delicious. Oh my gosh, I used to eat them so much. Sweet, syrupy, spicy scent of anise. And then also my best friend cinnamon. I pick up on something that is very cinnamon. It's absolutely lovely. It's sweet but not overly sweet. You really get that cacao pod as well as cocoa powder, like what you use to create chocolate when you're baking. So pretty. I like that it kind of balances the two. So it's not overly sweet, but I'm still getting something that's very edible. Very, very pleasant. Okay, so let me read you the notes for Zimaya's Tiramisu Coco. Oh, this is so pretty to me. Qué bonito. This opens with coffee and amaretto. I don't know what amaretto is made out of, but yeah, it opens with coffee and amaretto. Qué bonito. I'm not really picking up on coffee that strongly at opening. Let me see if I smell it on skin. Oh, this has gotten so sweet on my skin. No, I'm not really picking up on coffee just yet. And then the middle notes are vanilla, ice cream, and biscuits or cookies. And the base notes are brown sugar, vanilla, and amber. Oh, wow. So it is brown sugar. I'm picking up sugar. I don't really know that it's a brown sugar to me, though. But it's very sweet. Okay, so amaretto can be made out of almonds. So that's probably what you pick up on this. To me, almonds give me like a very powdery presentation. They present to my nose as something very powdery. I love the smell of almonds. And I definitely pick up on the vanilla, the sugar. It's very warm. It's very gourmand. It is absolutely gorgeous. I'm still not picking up on that coffee. And I'm not necessarily picking up on ice cream, but there is something creamy about the way this perfume is presenting. So Anís del Mono is a sweet Spanish aniseed liquor. It's made from anise and other aromatics. So yeah, that's what I'm smelling, like a sweet anise, even though they have amaretto. But very, very beautiful. I love the smell of anise. I love amaretto and almonds. Very, very gorgeous. So we have coffee, amaretto, vanilla, ice cream, biscuit, brown sugar, vanilla again, and amber. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Of the two, this is my favorite. I've never smelled Mancera Amore Cafe, but it must smell lovely because this is very, very pretty. Of the two, this is my favorite. I think this is the one that leaves more of an impression. The notes are very, to my nose, the ones I'm picking up, very pronounced. You can clearly pick them up. There's no like discord between them though. They're all flowing very, very nicely. I've worn this fragrance, like I said, maybe 3 times or so, and I haven't had it that long. So I am guessing that as it continues to develop, it's just gonna get richer and more decadent. It feels decadent. It's so pretty. I really, really like this one. So yeah, friends, that one is the Tiramisu Coco by Zimaya. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. And as I said, this one is my second favorite. So I definitely prefer the richness of Tiramisu Coco. I think it presents way prettier, much more interesting than this one. This one is Tiramisu Caramel. It's the same presentation, except that this is like a blush pink box. And again, you open it like this. The perfume is seated and pretty much just exactly the same, just a different color. This is like a blush pink. I don't know if it's coming off, it's pink. It's in the camera, to me, it's coming off more as like kind of like a cream, but it's a blush pink. And same magnetic cap, really pretty. So this is the one that I sprayed here. This one, it's very funny on skin right now. And like I said, I haven't really worn this one, not the way that I've worn Coco. I pick up caramel and then I pick up something that's like an indole note. There is something that is an indole note, very indolic to me at opening. The funny thing about indolic scents is that they don't necessarily show up or interpret the same for everybody. So please keep that in mind. You may have this fragrance, you may love it, and you may not pick up on that. I smell something indolic. I would say more like a urine smell, like an indolic type of urine smell when I first spray it. It hangs around for quite a bit. Very much, it's an indolic nature to the opening of this fragrance. And I'm going to say the opening because when I first sprayed it, it was way more pronounced. Even though I can still smell it, it's dissipating. But if you have this perfume, I'm curious to hear if you also are picking up on an indolic type of scent. All right, so this one is my Tiramisu Caramel. That's on skin. I don't know that I really picked that up on paper. You know what's also funny about this fragrance is that it took me about maybe 15-20 minutes to be able to smell it. I sprayed it and I smelled a watery caramel. I don't know if ever as a child you took like a lollipop and you dip it in water and then suck on it and then dip it in water. It smelled like caramel that had like a piece fell into water and it's just floating in water. It was a very watery caramel smell. And then it took a little bit and the notes started showing up for me. That's only ever happened to me with one other perfume, an Afnan perfume, the one in like that green blue bottle. And for the first, I'd say like 30-40 minutes, I wasn't able to smell anything. It didn't smell like anything to me. This hair, I tell you. Anyway, so I definitely pick up on caramel. Right at the opening, I get that caramel. I also get that indolic scent, particularly on skin, not so much on paper. Very, very much caramel. You know what else is in this one? A liquor note. This one has whiskey. And I pick it up straight off the bat, a little shot of whiskey with caramel, once I could smell it. A little shot of whiskey with caramel. It's pretty. It's so pretty. See the indolicness? I don't pick up on paper, only on skin. Oh, that's crazy. You know what? I'll need to come back to it and try it again. So take that with a grain of salt. I've tried other fragrances today. I don't know if maybe some of them are lingering. I also had lotion on my hands. Maybe that's playing with it differently. Right now I am picking up vanilla. I'm picking up caramel. I'm picking up whiskey. I could definitely pick up on that whiskey. It's very nice. Okay, so Zimaya's Tiramisu Caramel opens with caramel front and center. As soon as you spray it, you can smell it. I would compare this caramel to a milk caramel. You know, I don't know if you've ever had these caramels, and they're very, very milky. More than like chewy, pulley caramel, they're just very milky. That's what this is reminding me, that type of caramel. It then has honey, coumarin, which coumarin is a nice note. Coumarin to me can sometimes interpret as kind of like also a vanillic type of scent. It's sweet, it's pleasant. Then we also have woody notes. No, I'm not picking up on anything woody. No, not yet. Vanilla, the whiskey from out the gate, and musk. I'm not picking up on musk either. I would say right now, my nose is picking up on caramel. I can smell that honey as well. It's like drifting at the bottom. And vanilla and whiskey, definitely. But also something indolic. Yeah, maybe a baby took a tinkle and didn't tell you, and it was sitting in its little diaper for a bit, you know? Yeah, so odd, so odd. On skin, on paper, I'm picking up a lot more of the other stuff. So my friend had asked me to compare Tiramisu Caramel to Eclaire. I can tell you that Eclaire is way, way more, to me, milky. Way milkier. Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, way milkier. I don't think, this one doesn't have milk listed, which I believe Eclaire does. Way milkier, a creamy caramel, very sweet. There's something a little bit more complex about this one than Eclaire. Eclaire is, you know, she's just a sweet girl. She's just a sweet girl. She's just, you know, grabbing her Starbucks in the morning. Like, I don't know. There's nothing, to me, this one is a very safe blind buy. Like, I would say, hey, if you love gourmands, you know, and caramel and chocolate and milk and, you know, ice cream, go for her. This one, I don't know. There's something a little bit, maybe it's that whiskey and woods. Something a little different there. Okay, the notes for Eclaire. So Lattafa's Eclaire opens with caramel, milk, and sugar. Yeah, she's a sweet girl. I get that right away. And then they both do have honey. And you see, Eclaire is claiming the white flowers. Eclaire says white flowers, and then vanilla, praline, and musk. Tiramisu Caramel doesn't claim white flowers, but I'm like, usually that type of indolic scent can come from a white flower, like in indolic jasmine is my understanding. So I'm not sure where that's coming from. And also, there's no woody notes in Eclaire. And there is definitely, there's more complexity to this one, I would say. And I don't think it's that sweet, it's not as creamy, it's not as frothy, but it's also not saying that it has milk. So I could see why folks would say they're somewhat similar, but I don't think they're similar enough to say they're even both, like, let's say Bianco Latte. I've never smelled Bianco Latte, but if this is supposed to be Bianco Latte, I don't know how this one is supposed to be it as well, because to me they're not that similar that they would both be cloning the same fragrance, if that makes sense. Oh, okay, that pea smell is starting to dissipate, and I'm getting like straight whiskey, sugary whiskey, caramel. I definitely get the honey. She's interesting. She's much more interesting to me when it comes to my nose, like trying to figure out what's going on. This one is way more interesting to me when it comes to my nose trying to pick up on what's going on and what notes are those and what are they doing than this sweet girl. So I hope that's helpful to somebody. Yeah, friends. So those are the perfumes I wanted to talk about with you. I don't know if my friend's the only one out there wondering, you know, if these two are similar. Now, if you had to choose between these two, if you were to say, hey, May, I can only pick up one or the other, I am definitely going with Tiramisu Coco. This is gorgeous. This is cocoa. This is cacao. This reminds me of like the Tootsie Roll Pop. This is cinnamon. This is liquor. This is gorgeous. It's a little darker and deeper than this one as well. This one is definitely my favorite. This is gorgeous. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. What? I may wear this to bed. Yeah. Anyway, friends, thank you so much for hanging out. Let me know, do you own any Zimayas? If you do, what else would you recommend if you have anything besides these two? I'm very interested in the house. They do have, like I said, a US website now, so you can just order direct from their site. And yeah, these are two lovelies added to the collection. Bueno, mi gente, thanks so much for hanging out. I hope I've been helpful. Please let me know, do you have these? Have you picked them up? Are you thinking about them? If you have them and you have Eclaire, let me know, do they smell similar to you? They're both caramel, but to me, that's where the similarity kind of ends. They're both caramel. I don't know. I don't think they're that similar. Pues nada, friends, enjoy the rest of your evening. If I don't see you before the New Year's, have a wonderful, happy, and healthy New Year's. And I wish that the new year ahead is one filled with peace, that it's soft, that it's kind, and that it's gentle. Hablamos luego. Se me cuidan. Ciao.
I smell good. Yeah, I do. I smell good, and I want you to smell good too. So, each designer Middle Eastern perfumes. Here's my review.